Hi, Gibaud, Gibaud.com, and today we're going to speak about something that is really important in digital color photography. Colors. Yes, I'm sure you've heard some people saying this brand is better for the colors, or if you want to do product photography and you need exact color, this other brand is better, and this and that and many things, okay? You have videos or comments all over the place speaking about it. So I've made my own tests, so I'm going to tell you about it. So let's start. A couple of weeks ago, a friend of mine, he doesn't want to appear in the video, he doesn't want me to tell his name, but I thank him, he knows that, okay? Called me and said, Eric, as you have a Hasselblad 907 X with the digital back, the CFV250C, and many people said that Hasselblad has the best colors or the most exact colors, why don't we make a test and try to match the colors, Hasselblad colors, if it's possible? Is it possible to have all the camera getting the same colors? So why don't you bring to my house the Hasselblad, also your Lumix S5 Mark II, and also I will try with my Canon R. So we had one medium format camera and two full frame cameras, and we got some results, okay? So I decided to repeat with him again. We didn't take the Canon again because we got the same conclusion anyway. And I added the different formats because I thought it was good to have smaller sensors too. So we added the Fujifilm X-S20, also the Olympus, well, the OM system OM1, and also the iPhone 13 Pro Max that I have, okay? So we made some tests to see if we could match colors, if we get exactly the same colors or not. So I'm going to explain where we've worked, how we made the test, what we've used, the tool we've used for that, and to get my conclusion, also yours, you will check the video and see the conclusion. So this time we go from medium format, then full frame, APS-C, micro four third, and also a smartphone. So let's look at it. So what tool do we need? First, something to make picture of. And still photography. My friend is an expert at placing fruits and thread for sewing all this. The first still we made was a bit different, colors were different fruits, but doesn't matter, we got the same result anyway. So this. Second, a color checker to make color profiles and see if we can match colors just thanks to this. We're going to have a look at it. And then lighting. The first test we made, we had a flash, but this time because of the iPhone it was not possible, so we used LED light, continuous light, and this is basically what we've done, making the picture with that. So I'm going to explain to you how we set it up and how we do it, okay? So let's carry on. The setting of the cameras, all with the base ISO, some with 200, some 160, another with 100, depends on the camera, okay? All at f8 except the iPhone that you cannot change the aperture. That's why you have a difference in depth of field, but as we are analyzing the color, doesn't really matter depth of field, okay? The white balance in automatic, and also the lens I used were all equivalent to 35mm full frame. Well, on full frame it was 35mm, but the rest was equivalent. Except the iPhone, I used the wide angle lens, not the ultra wide, not the tele, the wide angle that is like a 26mm. This is why the framing is a bit different, okay? But that gives you an idea to have an equivalent look, okay? You have to set your camera in RAW files, even the iPhone. I use the RAW, as you can put in RAW. And then the color checker, you use this part, okay? On the picture it looks like it's like this, but actually the camera was from top. It needs to be parallel to the sensor. The sensor is here, so parallel to the sensor, okay? And if you're top like this, bottom like this, okay? That's really important. Then the color checker, you use this side, not this one, this is for something else, okay? And here you will see that some color checker, they also have these two gray cards. This one is for exposure and this one is for white balance. I've seen some color checker that don't have this exposure one and people think this is for exposure. No, this is for white balance. And actually when you look at the small squares here, the second one is a white balance one and this one is the exposure, okay? That's here, okay? But use this side. That's it. You really need this for all these tests, okay? Then you could use a light meter, but you need to have it calibrated for each camera. So the easiest way is you make your picture, you put the small bar, exposure bar in the center, make sure you measure light in the same way for each camera, and then you put one in the center, then minus 1/3, minus 2/3, plus 1/3, plus 2/3 to have 3, 4 pictures, 5 pictures to choose which one has the best exposure. Then you open this file in your Camera Raw or Lightroom or whatever you use, and then you put the dropper, you put it on the white here, and you should have about 3 figures the same RGB, around 220, 230. That's one that gives that's okay, that's proper exposure. Okay, so you keep this for each camera, and the other files you can erase them, you don't need them. Okay, we will work for each camera the best exposure, which is around this figure, 220, 230 on each channel. Okay, now you've selected the raw file you want to work with. In my case I had 5 because I use 5 camera. In your case you have just 1 camera, 1 situation, you just use 1. Okay, so then you need to convert it to DNG. In the case of the iPhone you don't need to because it's already a DNG file. Okay, but in the other one you go to Adobe website, you download the DNG converter that is free, and then you just import and export to DNG. Okay, once it is done, you open the app for the color checker, and it will say drop a DNG in this area to create a profile. So you drop the file you want to use to create your color profile. Automatically it will detect where this chart is. Okay, and will automatically you will see some squares that appear. You can adjust it in case it was not properly selected. Normally it does. Okay, then you export the color profile. It will export directly to Lightroom in the right place. I use Lightroom for that, but if you use another piece of software, no problem. But I'm not going to explain how you do it because if you're interested, you just read the manual in case you use something else. Okay, but it's no problem. Okay, so you create a profile for each camera you have or each situation, but we'll see that later. Okay, in that case I've created 5 profiles, and that's it. That easy. Okay, once it is done, you just import your picture in Lightroom. In my case, Lightroom. Obviously I've imported 5 pictures with each its own checker, but obviously if I was doing a photo shoot I would have just the first one with a checker, and the rest will be all the picture of the shooting. Okay, in this case as it's a demo I do to show you the results, add each picture add a checker. Okay, so then you go to profile, you have the Adobe profile. If you go to search, then you have all the profile that you created with the color checker app. You select the one that corresponds to your camera and you apply it. Okay, and that's really easy. I made it 5 times because I'm doing a demo, but in the case that you would have just 1 camera and 1 lighting situation, well, that's it. You just make the first one, you import the first one, select the profile, and then you use the dropper for the white balance. You click on the second gray card here, on the second from the left, and then you get the definite white balance, and that's it. Your picture is calibrated. Okay, so in case I would have an old photo shoot behind in the same lighting situation, everything, I just apply the setting I've just got there for the color part and apply it to the rest, and that's it. That's really easy. So the big question is, do I get the same colors doing this method and using this card? Well, to see it, I exported my 5 files to TIFF format. I could have exported to JPEG maximum quality, but I decided to do it to TIFF, so there's no loss at all. So we can check that in Photoshop. Okay, so the big question is, do I get the same results using different colors and then creating a profile with this? Let's have a look at it. So I open all my TIFF files in Photoshop. First of all, you can see that the scale may be a bit different because the resolution of each sensor is different. Okay, it doesn't matter, it doesn't affect the color. You will see that some files have more details because it's not the same thing 12 million pixels than 50 million pixels, but that doesn't have to do with color. Okay, details. Then you will see that transition may be a bit different, and in the shadows more or less details. This is due to dynamic range, but that does not affect the color. Okay, but we're speaking about colors, not about these differences. Then the depth of field may be different because a different system gives me a different depth of field, so you can notice it. But let's speak about the colors, okay? Let's look at the center where the chart is. What do you think? I see it exactly the same, okay? Then look at the left, where the blue thread is. I see it exactly the same. Then let's look at the right side, where you have the mandarin and yellow and orange, all this. I see it the same. So the answer is simple. When you use a checker and do a color profile, you get exactly the same color. Doesn't matter what camera you're actually using. Now let's get some more information. Obviously, as I explained, each step, sounds like complicated, but it's really easy. Actually, if you make a photo shoot, you could have it, and first picture you use that. Actually, they put a strap there because normally when you need color precision, you have this around your neck all the time, and for each part you make a profile. That's so easy, so fast. It takes maybe 1 minute to get this set up, okay? So if you're going to make picture of lighting situation, of clothing or product or whatever, you need precise colors. You make your first picture with this, and that's it. It's really, really easy. So why some people actually say this camera has better colors or nicer colors or whatever? Basically, because there's a massive confusion. One is the automatic white balance and what the camera does on its own if you don't change anything. The camera, it depends on the camera, also on the lens. Some lenses give a warmer color or cooler colors, okay? That's what you get, okay? And people think this is the color you get. No, you can change this color, okay? And people think this has to be with exact colors, and it does not. It means if you use raw file and a color checker like this, with any camera, including a smartphone, you can get colors that are exact, I would say, or close to exact, okay? And the same colors on any of these camera. You don't need to spend thousands of euros on a new camera. You can have your old camera with this and get the exact colors, okay? So if what you're looking for are precise colors, any camera can do it, including a smartphone, okay? So obviously, when you don't want standardized colors, it's a matter of taste. I want warmer, cooler, a bit more reddish, more bluish, doesn't matter. But this is personalized colors, the same as you could use a film photography. You use the film you like to give a warmer, cooler, well, greener, whatever, okay? Or if you work on JPEG, same thing, use a profile and it gives you a colors already decided. That does not necessarily look like reality, but you like the way it looks, okay? But people who say that you cannot get the right colors with such or such camera, this is a lie. That's not true. Using a color checker, you can match the colors precisely and really easily. Anyone can do it. It's fast and it's a lot cheaper to get this than to change your camera, okay? A lot cheaper. So when do you need that? Well, not for everything. For many pictures, you don't want to have the exact color. You want to have an interpretation of the situation, a different mood than reality, a different look than reality, so you don't need that. But if you do fashion photography, you want to have the fabrics to look like reality. If you do product photography, you want people who will buy this product to see the same colors. Or if you do a reproduction of art, like painting or things like this, you need to have the right colors, or food, or even real estate. If I get to the house, I want to have the similar colors to what I see on the website, for example. So it's important in this situation to have a color checker and match the right colors as much as you can. But as you can see, you can do it with any camera. You don't need to spend a fortune changing cameras just because you think the other one will give you better colors. You get this and you get your profile, and that's it. That's easy. We must not forget that some colors are thought to be seen differently, or especially for human eyes. A wedding dress, for example, has some special pigment, so it looks really white, but for a sensor it will look like bluish, okay? So that means that doesn't matter if you have color checker or not, you will need to make some local correction, because the sensor just see different than human eyes, okay? There's no solution there, but it can be adjusted, but there are some colors that are like this, okay? Second, not two people see the colors the same way. There are some bluish colors. Some people see them more green and some people see them more blue, okay? They don't agree on that, but it doesn't matter. What's important is that the way I see this blue color, when I check it on my picture, it looks the same. That's important. If you see it more green, well, you check on the picture, you'll see it more green, and that's it, okay? That's simple. But we must not forget that this is what is in the hands of the photographer. What comes after is a different story. So we're going to speak about it as a conclusion, okay? So you are really happy because you got the colors you wanted, really accurate, it really looks like reality. But where are you going to watch these pictures? Are you going to print them, look at them on a smartphone, computer, a TV, a tablet? Are you going to print them? What way? Printer or a lab? And then the result may differ. Because actually your side has been done, accurate colors. But if the support you use to watch your pictures are not calibrated, then you have a problem, because if someone sees different on his smartphone, because it's a smartphone problem, not your picture, but there's nothing you can do aside of recalibrating his smartphone, things you're not going to do, okay? But at least your side is done, so you know that the file is right. And if you're going to print, you need to adjust the printer to your file. But sometimes when you send to a lab, they will not recalibrate their gear for you. So you will have to fine-tune what you've done, make it wrong, I would say, to match their printing system, okay? But at least your part is done, so that's really important, okay? So the big thing is, many people think you need a specific camera if you need to have accurate colors. I see so many YouTubers and even many professionals saying, oh, if you do product photography, it's better to have this brand because the colors are accurate. And that's not true. That's not true. Actually, even if you spend money on a really high-end camera, if you're serious about colors, you will need a color checker. You will need it, yes or yes. That's simple. You need it. Why? Because you cannot trust a camera. You need to really yes, work with that to make sure it's okay. Otherwise, it will be wrong. But this is a lot cheaper than changing cameras. Important, these are special paints that make colors really accurate, but as any paint, after sometimes it's not as accurate anymore. So here you have a date. It tells you when it will be not usable anymore. So if you use it every day, open, receiving sunlight or whatever, or flashlight, doesn't matter, the time they tell you can use it is about a year. If it's not always open all this, probably a bit more, a couple of years, 3 years, but then after you will see that your profile is not that accurate, okay? So it's important. If you're serious about color, if you make money with it, spend some money on this. That's $100, I think, something like this. Buy this. That will save you a lot of time, and also if you work with different cameras, or let's say you have your main cameras and then it breaks down and you have to finish a job, let's say you do a product catalog and then it breaks down, well, you can keep working with another camera, different lens, different everything, and still get the same colors thanks to your profile. Otherwise, you would just go crazy matching the thing, okay? So this is really good. So when I hear people saying that it's not possible to get the most accurate colors on any camera, this is a lie. This is a lie. You've seen it. Whether it was a smartphone, whether it was Micro Four Third APS-C, full frame, or medium format, I got the same colors, okay? So this is important, you know that. So you spend money on what's logical. Don't change cameras just because you think the colors will not be accurate. Another story is if you want colors that don't need to be accurate, and you like the way it looks out of the box. I would say out of the camera, it's warmer, cooler, greener, bluer, yellowish, I don't know, doesn't matter, okay? But that's not what we speak about. We speak about so many people who say you cannot get accurate colors on any camera. Yes, you can. And I'm worried when I hear some professional that say you need such camera or you cannot do it, then I think, oh, honestly, you don't use a color checker when you do when your earning depends on accurate colors. This is incredible. Okay, so this is my conclusion. Yes, this is a big lie when people say don't get the colors depending on the camera. So don't worry, don't spend a fortune on changing cameras. Use the one you have. Just use that kind of tool. Okay, I think there are other brands, there are several brands. I'll leave you a link of this one in description anyway. So thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you like it. If you feel it may interest other people, please share it on social networks. If you have not done it yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's a small button and here's a small bell. If you click on the bell, you get notified when I upload a new video. My website, ericgibaud.com. If you have any question, you can leave a comment below. I'll also leave you links of my on Amazon, links of everything I reviewed by K&F Concept, Sandmarc, and Flashes by Westcott. More affiliated links and also a link to my PayPal account in case you wanted to make a donation. Thank you very much. Please take care of yourself and see you soon. Bye.